Hello and welcome back to MLE. We have a very interesting matchup here from ML. Again, a twos matchup against the Spartans at 7 and 8 and the Hive at 6 and 9. So again, just like last series, only one game difference separating them on the season record so far. And I'm here with Ice Cold Brew. Ice, how you feeling about this matchup so far?
Hey there, y'all. Good evening. And I'm feeling all right. I feel like the Hive are going to pull it together and run away with the series on this. And folks, just to remind you, thank you all for coming in one more time. We are sponsored by APM Music as well. Thank you to APM Music for providing all the fantastic beats that we are listening to now live. And yeah, Hive versus Spartans. Spartans overall, right now, I feel like they put some of their lower salary players to give themselves a bit more space to play later in the season. I think Hive are taking advantage of that because we have Cloud and Digerati on the field right now against Soul, Dyer, and Albino Muffin. And Cloud and Digerati are at the top of the league, of their team, really, at 75-17, respectively. But we have the Spartans with Soul, Dyer, and Albino, Albino's a 17 and Soul is a 16-5. So I'm kind of giving it a bit more to the Hive right now. I know a lot of folks probably think differently going by the predictions going on in chat.
Yeah, and as we all know, when it comes to MLE, it is kind of a rock, paper, scissors game with the captains deciding who you want to send out there for certain matches. Because if you send your B team and the other team sends your A team, you might have a record that you really didn't want for that. And it looks like so far, just face value, statistics-wise, the Hive won that rock, paper, scissors battle. They sent their A team with Cloud having a 77 sprocket rating average in matches so far this season. And so it's really going to be interesting to see if the I forgot their team name. The Spartans. Yeah, the Spartans can kind of answer that maybe as kind of the underdog in the series so far.
Yeah, and underdog it is as Albino whiffs on the touch, but so does Hive. Cloud is able to come in at the very last moment and scoop it out away from Soul. And now Degerati tries to get air dribble going, keeps it a little bit too low, and Albino's able to take advantage. So Cloud takes the ball, is looking for a pass up, and sends it off and away. The Spartans right now looking for an offensive push again. Both teams kind of feeling each other out in this moment. And speaking of feeling each other out, folks, Sprocket has their own merch right now. Hit !Sprocket if you want to check out some of the merch which will support the team and support the servers. And our entire great shot from Albino off the ceiling, off the top there, puts it right down below the defender.
Yeah, that was a great pass coming off Soul in the corner to beat Digerati in the corner right there. And Muffin was just there perfectly for the shot, top post. Cloud couldn't really do much in net. It's definitely a normal game one where they're feeling each other out. And right there, the Spartans just kind of got the advantage on that one. But you can finish the read now.
Yeah, so yeah, Sprocket, they have merch now. They have some great hats and shirts, a whole bunch of gear that you can pick up and match that nice Hive orange that we see going on the field right now. But Albino's looking to keep the entire field frozen over with another air dribble right into the back of the net, right over the defender too.
That is an actually great goal from Albino, and it seems like he heard what we said and said, although I might have only, I don't have a great sprocket rating so far, but I've only played one series, and I'm going to show you how I can actually play tonight. Up 2 goals, and both of them from Albino so far. And, they're giving it to the Hive so far. A great save from Digerati, though, saying, try not to go down 3, try not to give Albino a hat trick. Albino causing problems in the backboard. No, Digerati's still going to go for the 1v1, gets it over Soul. What a great challenge from Soul. Muffin made him go over him, and then the Soul was able to get there. But the Den was coming out. Oh, so he's hunting down Soul, too. Can Soul get the save? What a save coming out from the Spartans' Soul. And Albino takes it up the wall. Not really going to be able to do much with the air dribble. Just make sure he gets a safe touch. Soul did a great job of getting there, though. Get it to the corner. Albino's going to get there from mid. Soul can't quite get there. Cloud did a great job of getting out of that ball and getting out of the net, but couldn't get out of the corner as much. And it does look like, again, the Spartans have all the pressure and all the threats on net. And as I say that...
Yeah, Digerati just finds a chance to pop it right over to the defender there. Gets it right around, I believe that was Soul, who was on the back post. And, I didn't think the Spartans really need to do a lot right now. They just need to protect their net. And what was so fascinating was they weren't really pressured to keep a strong defense going forward. Hive demoing both of them out of the way and even looking for another bump at the very end, but could not find the back of the net. Now just getting a very fortunate pop-up over Soul gives them at least another leg up and a chance to fight as we hit that 2-minute mark in this match. Going down to 3 minutes left. Albino still keeping the play alive. Girardi goes for a touch there, gets it around, bumped by Albino Muffin as Cloud takes control. It's trying to keep it slow and low, but cannot get it around Soul. But Girardi tries to find the back of the net a little bit too far out wide. And Hive just not able to really convert points when they have some opportunities right in front of the net there. Unfortunate as we see Albino Muffin pops it high off the backboard, is going for another touch, controlled touch to get it around the Hive defender. It's playing in the corner, dangerous spot, and Girardi booms it off and away back into the side to Soul.
Yeah, and I know we were saying earlier about Albino Muffin getting those 2 goals early on and really, making his presence known. But in the midfield, Soul has really been doing the work that, never gets praised. He is there challenging, making sure that the Hive just do not have chances on net, don't even get to their offensive side of the field, because Soul just in midfield, clearing it right back into the Hive's defensive side. Right there again, he gets it, gets a perfect clear, and what a shot coming out from Muffin. Cloud with the pre-jump save, and again, Soul just first one on the ball. That's really where he's been super prevalent this series, or this game so far. That's why being the first one to the ball and not allowing the Hive to start any chances. We did have a misplay here. Cloud's going to go off the wall. It looks like he might have gone for a flip reset, but he went for the air dribble instead. That was a great pinch coming out. Girardi off the wall. Gonna go for his own solo play. Hit a little bit too heavy-handed. Soul gets the touch out once again. Cloud there using a lot of boost here to try to make a play. Albino looks like he's gonna get clear, but that was a good 50 from Cloud to keep it in. Girardi right now looks like the Hive are going for a lot of solo plays. Girardi tried to put it on net right there. Didn't really go for a pass. Cloud making an ambitious challenge in the corner with both him and his teammate in the corner. So Albino's going to get an open chance. Soul's up. Can't get the shot off. It looks like he might be get the boost though. Girardi going to try to get it past. The Spartans coming out with bumps. Couldn't quite translate it into a goal right there with Muffin. Soul gets it mid. That one might be a goal, and it is. Muffin there, reminiscent of a goal 2 or 1, I believe. Pass out of the corner from Soul.
And yeah, the Hive kind of look a little bit lost in the field, kind of getting the fumes from the Spartans right now. They just look a little bit out of sorts. Like, they've tried the demo plays, they've tried playing together, they've tried getting solo plays in, but now they're kind of just giving these easy passes and opportunities to the Spartans. And my question is now, as we hit that 30-second mark, what are you going to do next game? But maybe Cloud is thinking this game's not over yet, goes on a breakaway, carries the ball all the way into the back of the net, brings it back over into 1-point game at 2-3.
Yeah, this game is very much not over yet, especially after that goal coming out from Cloud. That was a great beat on the clear, and I don't remember who it was, but one of the Spartans player was there just a little bit too close as that back man when you're up 2 goals, only 30 seconds left, and it allowed Cloud to get that. But this is very much a game again. Hive, they have a chance to get another goal. Cloud's going to miss that, though. Doesn't look like it's going to be much of a threat on net. That was a very awkward situation for both teams. But to answer your question, what I would like to see out of the Hive, which is actually what he's doing right now, oh my, what a shot coming out from Cloud. He just comes out with no goals or really not even much points before the last 30 seconds. And within 21 seconds or so, gets 2 goals. Now the game's tied with 8 seconds left.
And yeah, just complete solo plays from Girardi and Cloud. Granted, those 2 goals are from breakaway points where they just had to wait patiently for the Spartans to make a mistake, for them to make a mistouch. But now Soul might be looking to get a pass down to Albino, unable to get there as Cloud booms it downfield, sends it off center. Girardi has to step back up. Soul pops it into the corner. That's still alive. That's right in front of the net there. Girardi is able to get the save. That ball's on the corner, and going to overtime in the very first game. Hive finding some life, finding some sense of direction and orientation. We're able to get this just push off of the Spartans making mistakes, and now we see another mistake, but that ball goes right off the post, and Girardi cannot find the connection between him and Cloud. So just a minute ago, we were talking about what the Hive need to do next game to recover from this loss, and here we are in overtime, and the Hive just they win. The Hive just win. Forget what I was about to say. The Hive just put it on net. Cloud again. He was lost for, I guess, 4.5 minutes of this game, but the last 50 seconds or so of gameplay, Cloud has just absolutely dominated with his ground plays.
And there's yeah.
Yeah. Just Cloud controlling the ball extremely well, taking it from the air out in that corner from the opposite end, bringing it right in front of the net, and catching Soul by himself in the middle of the net during the headlights, and getting an opportune 50 that works in his favor, pops it right over Soul. Albino stuck in the corner trying to catch up, but cannot get there in time. Hive just turning this game around very quickly in the span of, I think, less than a minute.
Oh yeah, that goal to make it to only one down. Like they were 2 goals down with 28 seconds left, and they scored with 27 seconds left. Cloud did with that breakaway, and then Cloud had that amazing flick to top left with 8 seconds left. Went to overtime, and Cloud once again with the ground play put it in the back of the net. And from what we were saying earlier with the Sprocket averages, that makes sense for Cloud. I don't know where he was for the first 4.5 minutes of that game, but he's here now. And he won the game for his team, really. I mean, a hat trick for him and Albino in this game. Albino had 7 shots. But, I mean, Digirati did his own work, too. You know, he had 4 saves that mitigated the 7 shots coming out from Albino. And once again, we were talking about the Hives and what they need to fix for this next game. But then they just came out and won. So, I mean, what do the Spartans need to fix for this game?
Honestly, I think they just need to tighten up their defense a little bit more. They're giving a few too many opportunities. And folks, I do want to remind you, if you see any plays you like that game-winning shot from Cloud, make sure you hit !POTW to submit that to Play of the Week. We will not be back on Wednesday, but we will be back soon, the week after that, after the bye week. Soul goes up for the shot on the kickoff, cannot get it, so sends it to the corner instead, tries to get another touch, goes for a bump on Girardi instead. But that might be a mistake. It's Cloud showing one's presence and state of mind. Albino, smart play, gets a bump off the ball, sends it away from Girardi, and pass from Soldair goes right up to Albino Muffin for the first goal of the game. And I think we're just going to see a little bit more of the same, of the Spartans banding together, getting in formation, and just looking for each other actively. They just got to shore up that defense.
Yeah, I was actually kind of confused there for a second because Neo Toki made me think that was the wrong goal. But it was the right goal, and good job on Albino to get that goal in. But I was thinking about my notes to give both teams before last game before it ended in such a crazy way. And my notes for the Spartans were the fact that on defense, they're playing really good midfield. They're getting it out of their defense. But on offense, it seemed like they were overcommitting a little bit too much, and that allowed Cloud to make those solo plays that he did. He was able to get the possession and have a 1v1 and win it those 3 very crucial times last game. And with the Hive, they need to keep possession a little more and not let Soul be able to do what he does on defense and clear the ball back into their half. And Soul with an amazing cut right there, but Digirati did a great job of getting it out. Not a great touch from Albino. I'm going to give possession to Cloud. Cloud tries to put a shot on net. Soul doesn't do a great job of catching it out, though. It's back mid. I don't know who's going to touch it first. Soul gets it first. He gets a bump off. Digirati has a chance. Albino's going to come in and get it around him. Cloud's going to have to take this by himself on the backboard. He has the boost. He has the play. Not quite, but right to his teammate. Digirati gets an amazing clear to the other side back wall. Pass mid. Backflip coming out from Cloud. He still has a shot opportunity, and he gets it, but what a save coming out from Albino. Still a 1-game lead for the Spartans. Dunk possible. Digirati not quite. There's a lot of threatening opportunities right here for the Hive, but just not able to put it in the back of the net yet.
Yeah, I think, and a little bit of that is that presence of mind that Albino had to at least attempt a demo on, I believe that was Cloud that he tried to get a demo on in front of the net there earlier. And very smart play. One thing I would like to see, though, is Soul with the ball flying over the net. I would like to see Soul get some shots in the back of the net, get some more pressure going, and not just leave Albino to be the only one to score, because right now I feel like the Hive are just looking for Soul to pass out, but I might have spoke too soon. Soul, overhearing me in the caster chair, says, all right, I'll get a point for myself, and just finds that Digirati is nowhere near the net. Cloud by himself in the air and just takes it in.
Yeah, Soul heard you. Like you said, he heard you. That is his first goal of the series, if I'm not mistaken. And he just got higher up than Cloud did. And Digirati was getting boost. He thought his teammate had full possession of it, and Soul just caught him off guard with that high challenge. And sometimes that works, and he's got to go for him. And with the Spartans, that takes a 2-goal lead for the Spartans. And I mean, you never say it's over. Obviously, it's not. It's 2 minutes left. But with last game, we saw the Hive come back with just 27 seconds left. So I know the Spartans are not really feeling as comfortable as you would normally be feeling with the 2-goal lead. And as you can see, they are still keeping the pressure, still trying to get that third goal. That third goal is really comforting. And what a demo coming out from Digirati. Albino has no boost. Cloud's going to be able to put it in the back of the net, and there we go. It's a 1-goal game, not 15 seconds later.
Smart demo by Digirati gives Cloud that chance to just wave dash and run away with the ball. Nice little flip into it, pushes it right past Albino. Soul spawning in, but too little too late, running away with the ball there. Less than 2 minutes left to go. It's 1-2. Hive looking to come back now. Ball kicked off towards the left side in Albino's favor. He's looking to get a pass, going for a double tap opportunity. Cloud touches it off the backboard, and Albino just pinches it off to the side. Soul gets a 50 off of Cloud, tries to get back on it, but unfortunately Digirati's already on there. Now Digirati looking for another touch off the wall. Soul passes out. Albino looking for some boost, is able to turn around with that smart bump from Soul. Soul going in for another bump, but Albino cannot find the back of the net to get the lead back in control. And I think I said nut instead of net. Digirati just needs to roll it right on it, and we are back to a tied game, 2-2.
I was distracted by what you said, but it looks like Digirati got a demo and Soul just couldn't handle it on the back wall, and Digirati was able to roll it right in there. That's a mistake you cannot make if you're the Spartans, especially not in ML League. The other team is gonna punish you for mistakes like that. But that does not discount Digirati's great demo coming out there to work for that goal himself. Now Cloud in the air, he looks like he's comfortable. He's gonna get the flip reset, puts it, doesn't put it on net, but then he gets a favor from Albino, and Albino puts it on net for him. And once again, we have Hive coming from a 2-goal deficit to take the lead. There's still a minute left of this game, and that's another mistake coming out from the Spartans. Albino should have left that for his teammate and just kind of juked his own teammate and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, Albino just a little bit too antsy, just one to... Maybe it's a bit of that panic of just the Hive being able to swarm last minute, and now Digirati demos Albino, bumps out Soul. Soul just spawning back in, and Digirati just taking his time and backflipping the ball right back into the net. And now they have a 2-point lead. I have to point this out. Digirati and Cloud are both doing solo plays for the most part. Their presence is not being counted statistically. They're either getting bumps or just making sure the net's defended. But we can see that salary difference showing up right now with Digirati and Cloud looking for each other. Cloud wanting that ball for himself, not giving a chance for the assist to Digirati.
Yeah, Cloud said that one's mine. You can see he called his teammate off, and Digirati was like, all right, I got you. You worked for it. The Cloud getting a hat trick with that one, which this is the second hat trick of the series now, I believe so. Yeah, because he scored the overtime winning last series.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, at the 2-minute mark, I was saying how the Hive can come back. The Spartans had control again, and here we are, a 3-goal difference with 40 seconds left. The Spartans, I don't really know what to say for them. They just gotta, be a little more clutch and I don't want to say throw, but they've had the lead both games so far, and the Hive have just taken it back. But I will say from Digirati, his demos have been absolutely perfect. I said last series that I am a fan of the power plays, the demo plays, like the body hits, and Digirati has been doing that to absolute perfection so far. It's gotten them 2 goals so far this game and really helped them to their 5-2 lead. He misses that one off the back wall, but Cloud gets the clear. It does look like this one is a wrap, though. And with this one, the Hive are going to take a 2-0 lead on the series. And as well, Albino gets a little consolation goal right there. It does not going to change it, but I mean, our original predictions are correct, but in the absolute weirdest way so far.
Yeah, I feel like the Spartans are able to, it's the pressure they introduce in the first minute or two in the game is what kind of carries them for a while. But then that pressure just kind of alleviates and slows down. And then they start getting overwhelmed. Like the Hive start acting like there's more people on the field, just swarming over the Spartans and just getting under their armor. And I think at this point, the difficult thing is just field awareness of when a demo is coming. Digirati is very threatening with that, but also just not letting Cloud do whatever he wants. I feel like Cloud, every time he's gotten a hand on the ball, has just done a very smart 50 where he is able to keep it nice and low and then just takes control of it, runs away with it at that point. Or lulls the Spartans into like a false sense of security where they think they can go in for the ball, and then Cloud just throws it forward and it goes right past him and gets an easy goal.
Yeah, and to your point earlier, it does look like the Hive are going for a lot of solo plays, and I mean that's a perfectly viable strategy in twos. I mean it works, all the way up to the SSL Pro level, that you just see a lot of back and forth solo plays if you can pull it off. And so far in the air, I mean we saw that one from Cloud, but it was kind of a misplay. But he kind of got a gift given to him from the Spartans. But on the ground, especially with Cloud, those solo plays are working exactly how you would want them. 2 hat tricks for him so far, and they got to keep doing that. Do the solo play, and if it doesn't work out, your teammate's right there to collect it in midfield, and they can take their own solo play. We've seen it several times from them. So the Spartans are going to have to do something to figure out the solo plays, especially on the ground from Cloud. And we have seen the Spartans go for passing plays, so they're taking the exact opposite approach. There's been a lot of passing plays, some of which have ended up in the Hive opening up one of those solo plays that we were talking about. So for the Spartans, to get more goals for them, because both series they've only had 2 goals, or both games rather, they've only had 2 goals. Although they get them early, they just can't keep up that pressure, as you said. So they need to work on those passing plays, get them a little bit faster, get them a little tighter, so that the Hive can't make a solo play right back into their own net.
Yeah, and as we go into game 3 here, 2-0 in favor of the Hive right now. We see a demo from Albino on Cloud, trying to shut down that play, but DiGirardi gets a 50, almost towards the net, so he's flying through the air right now, looking to get a soft touchdown, pops it into the center of the field. Cloud bumps off Albino, now Soul chasing after that ball. Doesn't really have an angle for it, so he's looking for a pass out to Albino, but Cloud anticipated it. Now we have Soul looking for another shot and gets blocked by DiGirardi. Cloud might be actually looking for the very first pass of the match to his teammate. Ooh. Saved by Soldai here there, very close. Do you think the Hive are trying to go for 0 assists in a series just across the board?
Are they at
it kind of feels like that right now.
I haven't checked. I haven't thought to check if they're at 0. I mean, yeah, it does kind of feel like it. It didn't look like Cloud was thinking about passing there, but he ended up going for the top corner shot, and that
pockets it into the corner.
That looks like a misplay coming out from the Spartans. Oh my. Yeah, that's one they're going to want back. They both went for it. I'm assuming that was one of those one person goes, the other person says, I got it, and then neither of them end up going. And you just got to commit to that ball at that point. They just handed, I believe it was Cloud that made the shot, yes it was, a goal. And right there, Albino almost just answers right back off the kickoff, but couldn't quite get it in. Soul doing what he does up early, getting the touch in midfield, keep their team on offense, and it results in a goal for Albino. What a play coming out from the Spartans to answer that. We're at a tie game, and that's what I was talking about earlier with Soul in the midfield. When the ball comes at him, he can just get up high wherever the ball is. He can find it, and he can keep it in the offensive half. And right there, it directly resulted in Albino getting a goal.
That's one thing I would love to see for the Spartans. I would love to go look at Soul's 3 stats, because I feel like Soul does such a fantastic job of looking for his teammate, setting people up. I feel like he is a much more prominent 3s player. DiGirardi with a fantastic backward save on the ball, sending it off to the corner, giving it right back to Albino, but Cloud's already there. Now Soul coming off the side of the wall, slows it down a bit, pops it, loses control there, so now DiGirardi has a chance to find a solo play, but Albino gets in the way. Soul gets it around, sends it to Albino. Albino is looking to get a pass out, but gets blocked and stuffed away by DiGirardi. Now Soul sends it over high, gets a save for that. I didn't realize that was going in. So now almost gets a bump on DiGirardi, but Albino plays it smart, realizes he's last one back, sends it right back to Soul, looking for a pass out to Albino, but cannot make the connection there. DiGirardi and Cloud both jumping in the air to get that all knocked off to the corner. Now Soul tries to interfere, but cannot find it as Cloud 50s off of Albino, and that ball's staying in that corner for a bit.
Yeah, right there in the midfield challenge, both players were out of boost for both teams. I believe it was Soul and DiGirardi. DiGirardi's on the wall, and Soul right here with it. Another time with no boost. It does look like Soul, he's really good when he has boost to get in the ball, but it does seem like he's out of boost a little bit. And it's kind of a misplay coming out from the Hive right there with the double commit. It's going to give Albino a shot, and Cloud with a great save onto the backboard. DiGirardi there to collect it. Soul tried the 50. Albino is going to be left behind by himself now. It kind of gives it past to Cloud. Cloud's going to go for one of his dribble plays. He gets it around one. He fakes the other. It's on net, but Albino is there for the easy one flip save. Now Cloud having to rush back. He's rotating with Albino, looking for the demo. And a shot coming out from Soul, but not quite. Digerati has a chance. I don't think it's enough boost for that double. Albino there to catch it anyways off the backboard. Double commit coming out from the Spartans again. The Spartans need to get that under control, get their communication together, especially down 2-0 in a series. In MLE, you are not going to be able to come back and reverse sweep if you're double committing all game long. Digerati with a flick chance. The flick wasn't there. Albino gets it in the corner. Cloud on his backboard trying to control it. We're at a minute now, the game's tied, and this game feels very different from game 1 and 2.
Yeah, I feel like the Spartans have tightened up their defense a bit more. We saw that from Albino, who recognized that he was the last one back and was able to get that block and shut down that offensive push from the Hive. We have Soul. Yes, he's jumping a bit early. Yes, there's a bit of a threat of a double commit, but it's not a dangerous double commit. Though I might have spoken too soon there. Ball goes, finds the corner pocket and booms right in, giving the Hive the lead once again. Soul just leaves the ball alone for a bit too long and cannot recover in time.
That was an absolutely amazing shot from Digerati. Bar down into the top left corner, and you can't really blame Albino for going for that demo, taking off the opportunity of the pass. But also, as we've been saying, they actually do have an assist. Cloud has an assist, and as we say it, Digerati gets another goal. I was looking at the stats right here. Soul, oh no, Soul just trying to get the pre-flip to the backboard and pinches it right in front of his own net. And that is just unfortunate. I mean, hey, we saw it game 1. It's possible. But the Spartans, this game has been rough for them. And unless they can have some heroics here in the last 20 seconds or so, it doesn't look like Hive are going to take this series. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, we still play all 5. So the Spartans are going to have 2 games to fight for their own pride, fight for overall season record, and keep their playoff hopes alive. There was an opportunity right there, but Digerati did a really good job of getting it out. Gets the demo, and that does what it's going to be a nail in the confidence on the Spartans' defensive side. Digerati went for the bump there. It looks like Cloud was pre-jumping him off the ceiling, too. That's always fun to see. Yeah, with that, the Hive, they take the series 3-0. We'll see if the Spartans can, keep some of the morale up and get a game or two to prevent the 5-0 sweep. It's never fun to get swept, especially not on the stream. But so far for the Cloud, looking absolutely great. 5 saves coming out from Cloud. So I say from the Cloud, from the Hive.
Yeah, especially from a team that technically you should be able to beat them. Like, yes, the Hive put their top salary players in, but also the Spartans had a 2-1 series win coming in. They were record-wise a little bit better and had a great idea going in, just being able to look for passes and setting each other up. But Cloud and Digerati kind of dissected that and broke it down and just decided to turn that against them. Anytime Albino was expecting a pass from Soul, the ball was popped over him, and then Cloud or Digerati break away from it. And now we see something a little bit different, albeit I think it's unintentional. But the Spartans are so used to Cloud and Digerati making solo plays, and now Cloud and Digerati are looking for each other. 2 assists to Cloud in this game, giving him 100% goal participation for all 5 of those goals.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That is super impressive. Coming out from Cloud. And yeah, I mean, Cloud has been, they've all players have been doing a lot. This is the series score does not show how close this series has actually been game-wise and how well each player is playing. I know the Spartan players might want that game 3 back, but really on the Hive side, both players have been playing extremely well. Cloud getting his solo plays out, and a really good opportunity there from Albino on the air dribble. They're definitely not laying down and accepting a 5-0. And Digerati going for the demo plays has really opened up a lot of goals. In game 2, he had 2 goals that directly resulted from demos. And so both Hive players really carrying their own weight, performing really well in this series so far. And the Spartans, they have the pressure. What a challenge from Cloud. Couldn't quite get the ceiling challenge. But the Spartans have the pressure so far. This is pretty common to see in 3-0, when you get a 3-0 situation, and the winning team's like, all right, I won the series. I don't have to play anymore, right? But and then in game 4, they get shocked a little bit. So I would not be surprised to see the Spartans win this. As I say that, though, Digerati gets a shot on net and then just bumps the defender out and says, you can't save it if you're not there. There's definitely another misplay from Albino. Digerati, it looked like Albino's going to get back for that, but then that bump, and then also Cloud being there for the shot is just, there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, I expected Albino thought he might have had a bit more of a powerful touch, but you can see the wheels just flip that ball right down in front of him, and there's nothing he can do. Soul wasn't ready for it. Albino definitely wasn't ready for it. Even with that bump, he couldn't get there. Now Soul looking to make a solo play, but Cloud takes it off his hood and booms it off and away. Now we have Albino sending this down, and almost gets a touchback, and Cloud unfortunately not able to follow up. So DiGiorati takes it all the way out to the corner, gets the team reset, passes off to Cloud, but unfortunately DiGiorati has no boost to keep with the play. Good bump from Albino. Soul looking for the back of the net, but DiGiorati comes out and scoops it away. He passes up to Cloud. Wave dash from Cloud. Expected a bit of a freestyle.
And that's what I was saying. When you go up 3-0 in a series in game 4, you get a little bit relaxed, and sometimes that can bite you. But I mean, so far they still have the lead, and I do appreciate how the Spartans were trying to kind of bring out their own physical play there. It didn't quite result because DiGiorati's amazing recovery, but that dunk coming out from the Soul right there just goes straight in their net and gives them the tie game in game 4, trying to just scratch for anything they can get, and right there Soul gets a goal out of it.
And a bit of a misplay by Cloud as well, too. Just kind of waiting for that ball. Didn't expect it to pop out the side, so DiGiorati had no choice but to jump on it. But unfortunately, Soul, anticipating that 50, pinched it off and sent it off and away. And now he's looking for a backward pass to Albino. DiGiorati able to get the save from the shot by Albino. Soul looks for another chance here. And there is one thing I do want to say about the comment of just like when a team wins a series, they sometimes get relaxed. I will say, in the standings, that can come back to bite you, because I have definitely had a team win in a series but not have enough matches to make it into playoffs, and they felt the pain of that. They were never more furious by that. As we go into game 4 right now, Hive 2-1, Cloud getting a shot from the pass by DiGiorati, going and being a little bit more active, being a little bit more friendly with each other, looking for each other a bit more actively. And that's throwing the Spartans off their rhythm, which is something you want to do in Rocket League a lot. As Soul comes off the ceiling, Albino and Soul, meeting of the minds, almost own goal the shot. Almost an assisted own goal there. That would have been tragic, but now they got a 50 in their favor. DiGiorati is waiting off the backboard. Soul tries to slow him down, pass it off, but Albino flies right past it. Now DiGiorati, not enough boost to put it into the back of the net. Albino sends off to the corner. Soul getting back to play defense. Albino pops it up high, but Cloud's already there, looking for a pinch. Gets it into the corner, waits for Soul to get a touch on it, goes back. DiGiorati now challenging. Ball into the corner once more. Pass off towards the backboard. Cloud is still center of the field. Gets around one. Waiting for Soul to challenge, but Soul is waiting patiently and booms it all the way back to the other side of the field.
Yeah, and that's, again, I mean, I said it in game 1, Soul, he's done a really good job of that so far, just being patient, waiting for the perfect time to go and going for it. Cloud is out here absolutely trying to freestyle. You saw the double attempt earlier in the flip reset in the backward right there. Albino says, I don't appreciate your freestyles. Get off my field. I'm going to pass it to midfield for my teammate. Soul couldn't quite get there, though. It's there for Albino. Might have a shot, and he does. It's in. We have a tie game in game 4 with just over a minute left. And this is definitely one of those games that, I mean, the Hive, I mean, like I said, Cloud's freestyling, and maybe now that it's tied up a little bit, he'll calm down again a little bit. But the Spartans, I mean, like you were saying, a game matters still at this point. If you get to the playoffs moment and you're missing play-ins, oh no. Cloud, Soul just couldn't get it.
Yeah, Cloud just had that right on target and just put a bullet into the back of the net. Soul was able to get a touch on it, but just slowed it down, but did not change its direction. And it just rolls right in. Unfortunate save there. A little bit kind of shows like how important it is to get a good touch of fake coming out from the Hive on the kickoff there. DiGiorati anticipating it, goes off the ceiling, cannot get enough power to pinch it out, so instead it goes right back to Soul. And now we have Cloud going after the ball in the air. It's in the corner, looking to get it around. Soul gets a demo on Cloud, but DiGiorati's right on top of it. Soul, right for a pass out, goes a little bit too far forward. Cloud sends it up into the ceiling. Cloud might be looking for a ceiling touch pass, cannot get it down. Albino pops it forward. We have 45 seconds left. Can the Spartans catch up in time? They just need to tighten up. They just need to find a chance to shoot, and they need to disrupt that defensive presence that the Hive have on the field. Good demo from Soul there to get rid of Cloud and shut that down immediately.
Oh yeah, that was a perfect demo to get a demo on the second man to keep that pressure off them with Cloud coming in for a ceiling shot, or I believe it was Cloud coming in for the ceiling shot. To get that demo of his teammate really makes him have to rethink about what he's doing and how much risk and boost he's putting into the play. And with 15 seconds left, the Spartans have an opportunity, but Cloud doing what he does best in this series and just doing the right thing and gets it off the backboard. Might be the last chance for the Spartans. He fakes it under, and it's in. We're gonna have an overtime. Oh my, from Soul. He just gets it up and completely fakes Dizrati. Dizrati went off the backboard and just didn't read it, and Cloud couldn't get back. I really appreciate the Spartans right now. They are trying for everything they have to get this win. They know that it matters for play-ins. They know that it matters for everything on the series. And Albino almost had the win right there, but Dizrati was able to get his car up there, and never mind. Soul just gets the win. No overtime. Game 4, the Spartans take it.
Soul has stepped up to the field, and I was going to say about the last goal that he got was it's about what you don't do that gets you the win from time to time with that big fake. But now that pinch right into the corner, Hive were not anticipating Soul to step up like that. They were waiting on Albino to get a pass from him. But now Soul says, all right, let me get some points then. Let me just boost my stats a bit. Let me make my presence known on the field with a 50% shot accuracy. And Albino just setting him up as much as he can. Two assists from Albino get those in. And Hive finally drop a match to prevent the clean sweep. But now my question is to you, Spartans. Can you get one more? Make it look a little bit tighter than it's supposed to be. And then maybe make people think that y'all got reverse swept. Or have the hope of a reverse sweep going on here. But yeah, if the thing is, if the Spartans get 2 and the Hive walk away with 3, they will be tied in the standings at least. So at that point, it'll come down to what their placement is in division, how many goals they have, just a whole variety of other stats that we have to consider when we put them in the standings. But for right now, Spartans and Hive looking pretty close. Spartans just need one more win to tie it up with the Hive and stay relatively close to where they are in the standings, have more of a chance to get into play-ins.
Yeah, and it is kind of following, I think we could all see it in the gameplay. It's following the script that I kind of referred to earlier with a team wins the first 3 games. They get the series win. They kind of relax in game 4. And usually from my experience, that team says, okay, we gave them 1. We had a little bit of fun. But game 5 is time to tighten down the hatch again. So if I were to put a prediction on this game alone, I would say the Hive are going to take this one. They're going to come to play this time. Cloud he had his fun trying to go for freestyles, didn't really work. He only had 2 shots in the game, and right off the bat, 15 seconds in, Dizrati gets a shot in the back of the net. Cloud put a good pass on net. Albino tried his best to clear it out, but kind of just put it high for Dizrati, and Soul was not able to do anything on the backboard with it. Yeah. With 15 seconds in this game, the Hive take a lead, and it looks like they're here to play again.
Yeah, and let's also talk about how quick that was, like how fast the tempo changed for the Hive. Cloud was just staying on the ball. And what a pinch from Soul, gets it right around and brings that point right back. We're back to 0 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's back to a 0-0 game.
Yeah, Soul with the very fortunate front flip gets right in the way of Cloud and just sends it right in. But again, going back to the Hive, they changed up their tempo so much. They changed up that pace. It became less about putting a shot on net for Cloud and more of just making his presence known, causing Albino to kind of panic a bit and pop that ball up high for Dizrati. And we're seeing that change too from game 3 and game 4, from game 1 and game 2, where Dizrati and Cloud are no longer looking for solo plays. They're actively looking for each other, getting those passes. And look at that pinch that they had coming up the side of the wall to keep that ball going forward. Cloud playing mind games right now, tries to get it around Albino. It's able to do so, gets it off the post, but Soul's able to get in the way of it. Now Dizrati has to control it, flicks it around. Cloud steps back to go grab boost. Soul steals the boost. I'm going to boom it forward into the corner there. Is trying to get a little bit more boost behind him. Pinches it off the Hive. And so now Albino's last person back. Looks to get a chance going. Dizrati not able to get around him. Albino looking for boost. Gets demoed by Dizrati. Cloud takes it into the corner. Soul bumps off Cloud. Cloud still has possession, though. Just slowing it down, playing it quick, slowing it down again, and just making the Spartans feel uncertain. Now we have DiGirati, pinches it off the backboard. And Cloud debating on if he wants to steal it. Looks like he decides not to and gives DiGirati the sniper shot from close to ghost.
I absolutely love the respect from the Hive for their teammates. It's the second time we've seen somebody let an open net opportunity go to let their teammate have that goal. At the end of the day, your team gets a goal, it doesn't matter, but they are showing the utmost respect for each other when it comes to those goals, letting each other have it when they deserve it. But so far, I mean, this is kind of reminiscent. Oh, that's just a banger in the back net from DiGirati. Absolutely great way to get off the wall and just put a shot on net right in between the defenders. And in the middle of me saying it, he just proved my point even more so. The Hive coming out here and dominating once again, just like games 1, 2, and 3. With 3.5 minutes left, it's a 2-goal difference already. They already have 3 goals. Actually, DiGirati out here with a hat trick already. They go for the fake again. Albino tries to go for low 50. Soul might have an open net. No, Cloud gets back for it. What a wonderful job from Cloud to get back for it. He's going to have, it looks like a solo opportunity. Doesn't have much boost. They don't know that, though. He's going to try to go. I don't know if that was a fake or an attempt past mid, but it worked for killing a little bit of time, which honestly right now is perfect for them. What a flick from Albino. And it's not going to be a goal. DiGirati didn't have the read off the backboard, and then Soul also missed the read off the backboard. That was an absolute banger flick right into the backboard. Somebody call Athena, but Albino makes it up and puts it in the back of the net. They're still trying to, they're listening to us. They know the series record matters for division wins and for play-in playoff times, and so they're here to play. They're not trying to go down easy.
One thing I do want to shout out about Albino was how much power was behind that flick. Just gets right under it, scoops it up, and just tries to hone it into the net, but unfortunately a little bit too high, a little bit too far above the crossbar. But no one was able to really read that well, not even his own teammate, unfortunately, which kind of backfired a little bit, but they were able to get that point anyways. And now DiGirati, Cloud gets that save, booms it off to the corner, but Soul 50s off of Cloud. It's staying alive. Meeting of the minds from the Spartans. That might have cost him another point as that ball rolls right in front of the net there. But Cloud cannot find the back of it. DiGirati looks for another point. Albino sends it up to Soul, but gets bumped by DiGirati. And now Spartans looking for a chance. It's a little bit too fast. Soul taking the pass from Albino and just pounds it into the net there. Just a little bit under the speed limit of an average Texas highway there. 55 miles per hour.
I have kilometers an hour on, so you said that, and I read 89. I was like, what the heck is going on in Texas? But yeah.
Listen, when you know there's no cops around, that's how fast you usually go, but instead of kilometers, it's miles per hour.
I'm a perfectly law-abiding citizen. I don't know what you're talking about. But Soul out here with 7 shots. Soul really, oh no, and he couldn't quite get back to that one. So the Hive are going to take the lead again, but Soul is really trying his hardest right now to get that 3-2 series loss rather than a 4-1. It worked in game 4. Still 2 minutes this one. It's undecided. I would like to see Muffin pick it up a little bit. He did a really good game in game 1. Hasn't really been able to show up as much recently. This is his opportunity to show up and get this game win for his team to help their playoff chances.
Well, like, that's the thing. We know Albino can score. We know Muffin can score. I think he just gets shut down at every opportunity, except in this point where DiGirati has stepped out. 50 off of DiGirati onto Cloud. Cloud with a very impressive save. Just falling back and reaches out his metaphorical hand and sends that ball flying away. Now DiGirati with the demo on Soldier tries to get 2 for 1 there, but Albino able to play it patient. Now Cloud goes for an air dribble, tries to get around Soul. Soul takes it off and sends it back the opposite way. Now Albino sends it off to the corner. DiGirati sends it back. Cloud 50s with Soul. Muffin looking for a chance here. Has to go for the boost instead. Cloud, no boost to think about, no boost to speak of. Ball gets popped up high. We have less than a minute left. Spartans able to get a shot on, and there's Albino with the score.
And Albino did, it really butterfly affected into this goal. He came midfield when Cloud had the ball. He bumped Cloud off and then stole the boost. So Cloud was not able to do anything with the ball. Soul was able to collect it and get it off the wall. And then Albino, using that boost he stole from Cloud, beat Cloud's teammate and got the goal. So that was an absolutely perfect play from Albino. And another great 50. Soul's going to try to bump Dijrati. Can't quite. Dijrati did a great job jumping over the boost, wave dashing, and getting that clear. We got tied 4-4 with 40 seconds left. And Soul gets a good clear. This is going to be a great ending to this series, even though we know who the series winner is, but this Game 5 is turning out to be just like any other Game 5 with the series on the line.
Yeah, if anything, if I'm the Hive, I'd be disappointed in myself. I forced around a bit too much in Game 4, and that backfired so quickly that we dropped 2 matches to a team we knew we could beat, to a team that we were able to prove we were better. But now the series is going to be so close, and now we have built up that confidence for them, where they know they can do better, where they know they can run away with the series if they so choose to. And Soul has that ball on.
It's not in.
Target just enough. And we're going into overtime once more, 4-4. This is the highest scoring game we have had so far, I believe.
Cannot complain about a Game 5 overtime.
Cannot complain about Game 5 overtime. But now the Hive are really kind of feeling that sweat. Dijrati is looking for a double touch. Sends it off a little bit too high, so Cloud keeps it in the corner. Gets it around Soul. But Soul comes up from right behind him, gets it around him. Dijrati, though, takes it off the wall. Trying to get a pass down. Albino pops it up high. Cloud with a smart play. So he's middle of the field right now. Soul goes for a bump, cannot find him, and Cloud is taking this ball up to the side. Albino slows it down, gets a touch. And now we just have all the players out in the middle. Albino
save!
Shots on. Another shot from Cloud, and just pounding it back in once again. Soul standing out and showing he deserves to be a higher salary, to be a star player. I feel like Soul kind of carried the series here at the end.
Yeah, especially in Game 5 with 8 shots, and I believe that was 3 goals to his name in Game 5. Soul, he did not lay down. I commend you, Soul, for the fact that going down 3-0 in a series, especially on stream, emotions are heightened, you're nervous, and coming back from 3-game deficit and just absolutely balling out, especially in that last game. And Albino, he did his own too. He had the 2 goals, I believe, and I think 4 saves. They're out of the lobby now. I can't see anymore. But yeah, Soul, he just did not back down. He came back in Game 5 and Game 4 and 5, and that. Like we were saying, that is a big difference. A 5-0 to a 3-2, no matter how the 3-2 happened, it is way better to lose 3-2 than it is 5-0. And yeah, I commend the Spartans. That's really amazing to see them come back from a 3-0 like that.
Just that mental fortitude of being snuck up on from behind and losing Game 1 in less than a minute, giving up an overtime, and then immediately giving up that first goal. Has to be heartbreaking, and then losing the series afterward. But they did not give up. Great work from the Spartans, folks. And once again, just to shout out our sponsors once more, !Sprocket. If you want to pick up some Sprocket gear, shout out the team who is going to be calculating and telling the stats and breaking down how each team did in this series, because I know for a fact the Spartans might be a little bit low on the stat line, but it's going to jump up with the performance of Game 4 and Game 5 especially. And then we also have Guardian Pro Line, where you can pick up your own team jersey, MLE sports jerseys, the Hyperion and the Vanguard, and so much more from Guardian Pro Line, !Pro Line, to shout that out. And to the Hive and Spartans, you saw any plays that you liked, please hit !POTW. I'll be going through those over the next week just to look at what clips are worthy, what clips we want to see on OpenNet when we come back next week after bye week. And following that, thank you once again to AGM Music for the amazing music, and to Balls for sponsoring Play of the Week as well. Balls Guarana for when you need to quench a thirst.
And with that, everybody, thank you for coming to watch. We have one more match of the night. I am out of here, but Ice will be with you next round. Thank you all for coming by. That was a great series, and happy to have watched it with you guys.